Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. Tensions are running high in Rivers State as the 48-hour ultimatum issued by Martins Amawali-led Rivers State House of Assembly to Governor Similaye Fubara to submit the 2025 budget expires today. Ijaw groups, including the Ijaw National Congress and the Ijaw Youth Council, have warned against the impeachment of Fubara, stating that any move to remove him would destabilize the Niger Delta and disrupt oil production. The groups have declared their readiness to defend Fubara's mandate, with the Ijaw National Congress President, Professor Benjamin Okagba, cautioning that truncating Fubara's tenure would have dire consequences for national peace and economic stability. It's another beautiful episode on your favorite primetime show, Ways. My name remains Osajuwame Sally, and today we'll delve into the budget ultimatum in Rivers State. And of course, remember, Ways is all about you. You are the why in what are you saying. So be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussion. You can also head on to our YouTube channels at Official Upgrade TV, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite your families and friends to join the show right now. And when I open the phone lines, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think is going on in Rivers State, especially if you are currently, from Rivers State or you're living in Rivers State. Let's know what is going on there. As always, let me allow you ponder on my quote for today. It says, if Rivers State is starved of its economic rights because of the one who wants to monopolize Rivers State economy, we will also starve the economy of Nigeria. And this is coming from the Ijaw Youth Council. We'll delve into this much later, but first, I am off on a break. When I come back from that break, I have some news interest for you today. Stay with me. All right, you're still watching Ways. Now, I want to start with this interesting story that I saw. I've always said that we need innovative ideas for the kind of unique people that we are in Nigeria. And I think, this is commendable because I saw it and I thought this is how it should go. So instead of all those, would I call them last mile or road operatives standing in front of the road trying to stop people from doing one way, Oyo State governor has decided that, okay, since you say you want to be mad, let's all be mad together. So he has installed, those spikes, right? Those tire spikes, right? He has installed them on the major highways in Oyo State to prevent people from driving on one way. I don't know if we can quickly see this video. So you see the video is on a major highway and the tire spike. So if automatically, it is only when you're driving in the right direction that your tires are protected. So God bless you. You say you get two head and you say you want to take one way. This is automatic deflation of all four tires, like condemning all four tires. So I think this is a very innovative way to solve some of our problems in Nigeria, because again, if you say you want to just leave it for people without putting certain kinds of measure, people would always understand that if I flaunt the rule, I can always bribe my way out, I can do anything out and all of that. But this is a welcome idea, and I think we need more of this, even in Lagos State, across all the states, so that we start to have sanity amongst, our road users. All right, so I'll move on next to my next story, my next interest for the day. It's still going to be, because the man is very interesting, so I had to bring him twice. So between Akpabio and Abbas, right, Tajuddin Abbas, right, they have an estimated convoy fleet that is worth about 11 billion naira, right? And I'll list Akpabio's convoy. It has about 2 bulletproof 2025 Mercedes S-Class, 5 Toyota Land Cruiser Prados, 2 Toyota Hilux, 1 ambulance, and 3 power bikes. Tajuddin Abbas, on the other hand, the house, what's his title now? Yeah, you know him. He has one same 2021 Mercedes S-Class, but one. They are all bulletproof, by the way. 4 Prado and 4 Hilux, 1 ambulance, 1 Lexus, and 2 power bikes. Now, the reason this is making news, I think it was done by Premium Times, is the fact that we are complaining about how Nigerians are really, really suffering. They're in their situations and all of that, and you still see the show of flamboyance and the show of what's it called, flaunting of wealth and all of that amidst poverty. I think it doesn't put any of our leaders in good light, and this is not just them alone, because it is across. If you go to our state house of assembly, you go to all our political leaders, most of them, they go out in convoys. But this one just particularly struck out because Premium Times took the report, and they say that sometimes when they want to move out of Abuja, they actually charter either airlines, or they use the presidential fleet, and those actually, they run in millions of naira. It's interesting. We are in Nigeria, so let us keep on, let's keep on, let's keep on the good work. That's all I can say. I have one more story. Do I have 1 or 2 more stories? I actually wanted to talk about federal government, threatening to shut down the JAT terminal. So the General Aviation Terminal in Abuja. They said that 90% of illegal charters the highest amount of illegal charters happens in Abuja. Then they said illegal operations like money laundering, drug, human trafficking, all of those things are going on. So Festus Keyamo had raised, I think there was a panel that was set up, and part of their reports was that these are the things that they have, are their findings. And the government, I think, have lost about 120 billion revenue or so, because, again, some of these charters are not documented. They are just illegal charters and all of that. So the revenue does not even come to the federal government. So they are saying that, they are threatening that if they don't regularize that structure and make it a bit, transparent for the government to be able to track revenues that come in, then they might have to shut down that, terminal. EFCC arraigns former Akwa Ibom governor, Udom Emmanuel, over alleged 700 billion fraud is another story. This was a report that was taken by Sahara. Somebody now did an interesting analysis. I don't know if you can read that. It says the man is 58 years old. Let's even say that he spends, he has an extra 40 years to live, and he's spending 20 million naira daily. He will not spend up to 200. By the time he's 98, he would have spent about 292 billion. What does he need 700 billion for? These are the things that we talk about when we say that there's so much impunity that goes on in the country, and it is across, as in there's nobody that is left behind. Because the system is not properly structured, it is a ground for a lot of misappropriation and a lot of what's the word now I'm looking for? A lot of illegalities that goes on. So this is just one. I'm hoping we'll be able to find what the a headway for this would be. I hear that when EFCC arraigns people like this and says, okay, 700 billion, they begin to negotiate. They say, okay, you know what, let me return 500 billion and keep 200 billion. They negotiate like that, at that level. And that's why I've heard some people say in some quarters that if you want to steal in Nigeria, steal big money. Well, that's their say. So let me give you latest updates on Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan and Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio. So this morning, I mean, we woke up to the news of how walking into the Senate, giving her husband a kiss, and going to the Senate to present a petition, petitioning against Akpabio on the, of course, the sexual harassment charges. And again, Akpabio responded by also reading out his own letter to state his innocence and saying that he has never, you know, had any cause to harass a woman. He was raised by a single mother. And I mean, she died, I think he said in 2021, or I can't remember, I can't recall now the year. And that, you know, till tomorrow, the reason he was named one of the most gender-friendly governor in his tenure as governor was the fact that he holds women in high esteem, you know, and he would never be part of those people that harass women. So just this evening, you know, just as I was about to come on air, there was a latest report that said that the Senate has dismissed all Senators Natasha's petition, because I'd seen that video where one of the committee member was saying that the truth is when you are writing a petition, you are not supposed to be the one to append your signature on that petition. It's supposed to be somebody else that would sign on your behalf. For the fact that she signed that petition herself, that meant that that document is dead. It was dead on arrival. So now, I mean, the report has come out to say that, you know what, her petition has been dismissed. And this does not go without, you know, all the, what's the word, protests that we saw, how the police also tried to disperse the crowd, how people were calling for Akpabio's resignation and all of that. I would say that the most decent thing to have done was to, of course, step down and allow people to take, what's the word now, to investigate the situation. So they have investigated now, or not that they investigated, more of like the means to which she did that, what's it called? The petition was not properly done. So on that grounds, that's, you know, they threw out the, what's it called? They dismissed the petition. So yeah, that's the latest on that. I'll take a break now. When I come back from that break, I want to discuss Rivers State. Yes, and I brought back wisdom. Chapp-Jumbo, because we did not complete our fight on Monday. Stay with me.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we'll connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
All right, thanks for staying tuned. Now, the Ijaw Youth Council have warned that any attempt to undermine Fubara's government would be resisted with potential economic consequences. The crisis in Rivers State is linked to a Supreme Court judgment that nullified the local government elections that was conducted by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission in October of 2024. The judgment also ordered that the seizure of allocations to the state and has been and this move has been criticized by Ijaw youth who see it as an attempt to marginalize them. Governor Fubara has had rather previously signed the 1.1 trillion naira 2025 budget into law on January 2nd, but the reconstituted assembly that, of course, due to the rulings from the Supreme Court, is now demanding that he formally presents the budget to them for consideration, given that that other move was illegal. Now, the state government, however, has refused to comply with that ultimatum, stating that it had not received any official letter conveying the summon of this budget presentation. Now, for context, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martins Amawuli, issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Simlaye Fubara to present the 2025 budget. The ultimatum stems from, like I said, the Supreme Court ruling that reinstated Amawuli's led lawmaker. Now, the court also redirected that the Central Bank of Nigeria would withhold all allocations to Rivers State. Now, joining me to continue the fight, because we started it on Monday. We started this fight on Monday. See the way I'm already sweating. What's it called? Wisdom. So Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo is a friend of the house. He is our Energy Outlook host. And also a very, very strong political, he loves his roots, the Rivers man, yes, he loves his roots, and he follows and monitors politics in Rivers State. The only wish I have is that I was hoping I would get a pro, because it's like you're a pro wiki. Let me just take it out there. I was hoping I would get a pro Fubara, what did they call him? Guests to join so that he can help me attack you. But hey, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, thank you. I'm pro-constitution, by the way. So I'm pro the law and the constitution, because when you're on the side of the law, it is safer to be there. It is what the law said, you know, and we're in a constitutional democracy. And so everything we do must be by the law. So
by the law.
It's not about being pro anybody, but it's about being pro the law.
Let me pretend to agree with you. All right, so Sim Fubara had signed a 1.1 trillion budget into law,
yes,
right? And like you were rightly explaining on Monday, he signed and he presented it to a 3-man panel, which is not the Constitution. The Constitution says you must present to a quorum.
Yes.
Now they have asked, remember I asked you that question, but I think we never got around you answering it, that if peradventure what is happening now happens, what would be the implication and who is going to suffer? Because in the end now, it is no longer a battle of whatever. Rivers State people will genuinely suffer for this move. And now we're seeing that they are not willing to come to represent that budget. CBN has withheld allocations. So what exactly would happen? How would all of these things play out?
Okay, thanks, Uwa. As I said earlier, it's a situation that nobody is happy about. And at this stage, we need to put the people first. So what has happened is the earlier steps of the governor was directly against the provisions of the Constitution. Reason why the Apex Court took the decision it took. Many people compared this to Lagos State when Tinubu was governor, where he had an issue with Obasanjo, and all of that. But we forget to say that in that case, that it is different in the sense that at that time, Tinubu was creating the LCDAs, which was more than the 20 local government of Lagos, and then Obasanjo wanted to withhold his fund and all of that, and they went to court. In this situation, the governor has presented a budget. A budget, for a state. You present to only 3 lawmakers for an assembly of nearly for about 32 members.
But
I'm coming. So the way we need to move forward now. So we
no, before we even
solution.
move forward, hold on,
yes.
Wisdom. Before we even move forward, that presentation of that budget, is it not also because it seems like the members of the State House of Assembly their minds were already poisoned against the governor? So what do you expect? It seemed to me like his hands were tied. I don't think he was intentional. I mean, he would intentionally go against the Constitution. But it is that, okay, now, since you people are deciding not to work with me, you want to work against me, then I'd rather do this. Was that not what played out with the River State budget presentation to a 3-man panel?
The certified true copy of the 28th February judgment of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone should see it by tomorrow. It's out. So by tomorrow morning, I'm sure it will be everywhere for everyone to see. We've already cited the copy. You see, the governor said his doctrine of necessity that made him present it to the 3 people. But the law is the law. Anything we do in a constitutional democracy, it must be in line with what the Constitution says that we have put together to guide us. I said earlier that Section 96 of the Constitution clearly stipulates what a quorum should be before the State Assembly, can conduct its business. It means if there are 32 members, you must form a quorum of about 11 before you can, conduct the business of the House. In the case of, there was a case in Plateau State where 8 members had sat to impeach the governor at the time. The Supreme Court also ruled in that case that you must have 2/3 majority
of the House
to impeach a governor. So it's the same situation we're looking at here. So you can't say because you are afraid of the members or you are afraid they are against you, and therefore you act not within the frame of the Constitution. You are wrong. And if you look at the certified true copy of the judgment, I'm going to send it to you. If you read it, you will see the Supreme Court made certain firm statements in that regard. Reason why they asked the CBN not to, allow any allocation, and then the governor cannot spend from the consolidated revenue of the state. So, we need to be very careful here because we are in a constitutional democracy. These laws were not drafted because of you, Governor Fubara. Tomorrow, if I am governor or you are governor, the same constitution is going to guide us. We're going to apply, unless it is also changed at that time. So we cannot, even if we have support for the governor, we want to support him, but he needs to act. That's why the assembly has said, okay, now that the Supreme Court has passed the judgment and the assembly can go back and resume duty, in light of what is on ground, and we need to get monies out for the state and pay salaries, please present your budget in 48 hours. This same budget was what you presented to 3 people, Abi. Can you just bring it back?
Present it.
And bring it to us so that we look at it and then we can do what needs to be done so everything can go in accordance to the law.
Okay, Wisdom. Now that he's refusing to comply, citing that there's also a lack of official notification, where is the Constitution in that?
Well, he has written back. That's the most important thing. It's funny how they are writing back to a letter they never saw. I don't know how that works. Because actually the assembly sent that letter on that day. And there are evidence with, from the courier service that sent the letter. And then when they go to the government house gate, they say, oh, somebody made a call inside that they said they should send the letter back to the sender. That's what happened. So, but from what we see, I mean, you flashed a letter from the government, secretary of the government. Why are you responding to a letter that you never received? Well, how come you're responding to it? Again, you say you've not seen the letter, but you've already told the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to have a stakeholder meeting today and then fix August the 9th for local government election. Again, this same Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission is flaunting the laws again.
How?
Good. They've set August the 9th for elections. Now, the court has made it clear, and it's in the Constitution, that every local government election must be in conformity with the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act in Section 28
it's all right.
clearly states that you must give 360 days notice.
Ewo. That's 1 year notice?
Yes, before the conduct of an election. Now, Section 150, which the court cited, said, and this is where it explicitly said it, that all the laws here will be binding to State Electoral Commission. If we have time, I'm going to pull it out.
Please pull it out.
I'll read it for you.
Today we have time.
So, again, you're flaunting that law. Well, the River State House of Assembly today in their sitting has said they are inviting that chairman to come and sit before them and clarify himself. Because in the first resolution they gave on Monday, they are written to the governor to say, based on the judgment of the Supreme Court, we need to review some of the laws, electoral laws of the state, so that they will be in conformity with the Electoral Act of 2022.
Yeah.
Why is the chairman of RISEC in a hurry to fix a date for an election? So I blame the advisors of the governor at this point. Because, you know, people benefit a lot when there are crises. You know, so some people are benefiting so much from this crisis in Rivers State that they don't want it to end. I read where you were saying some people are agitating that there will be breakdown of law and order. You see, it's not the first time we hear some of this in Rivers State. It will always come and go. But we need to know that if we can't stick to the law of the Constitution, then I don't know what we are doing. Impeachment process is constitutional, but nobody have said we're impeaching anybody at this point. I mean, I know the Rivers House of Assembly have not said they're impeaching anybody. But impeachment is not what will just happen in one day. Impeachment, according to the Constitution, there are about 13 steps, maybe 8 steps to impeachment. So that's not what we are even discussing now. Is that for the good of the people, the River State government and the governor itself needs to act accordingly.
So this same Professor Obaka has said that he has vowed that Ijaw nation would defend Fubara with every pint of blood in their veins. That we are committed to defending our rights and ensuring that the voices of Ijaw people are heard and respected. Is this an Ijaw crisis, or is the fact that it's the entire River State that is having the crisis? And secondly, are you not afraid that there might truly be a bloodbath if any of these things start to go south?
You know, it's so unfortunate. Since the beginning of this issue, there has been some ethnic coloration.
Yes, because that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and it is really very, very unfortunate. Because I'm not sure what they are defending. Are you defending a man who is not obeying the Constitution? Everybody keeps saying the issue of defection was not heard by the Supreme Court, but the judgment is out, and everything was indeed heard in that judgment. If we can't abide by the laws that put us together, what do we answer to? If some of you don't want the governor to be impeached, as you are saying, because even the court have said these issues and these things you've broken on the law are impeachable offense. You get what I'm saying? So I don't understand why everybody, you know, this ethnic coloration and all of that.
Okay.
So if we want to be in a democracy, we need to understand that the law is what should guide us. If the governor is in disregard of the law, can we advise him to indeed go according to the law? There are political solutions that can solve certain things. And it's what everyone advised the governor a year ago, you know, to seek political redress in all of this.
So let us come back, because you were trying to avoid my question on Monday. I will bring it back.
Ask me.
Because who elected Wike? Elder statesman in River State, who elected him as the political leader in River State? There's a Peter Odili now, Abi? Is there no Amechi there that had gone ahead of? You are smiling. Wait now. Because you see, we cannot shy away from the reality that all of this drama that is going on and the fact that he has 27 lawmakers against him, which would have led to him going to go and do something illegal as well. I'm not saying I am condemning his own actions, that you cannot use wrong to fight wrong, right? Yes. I'm not saying, so we all know that this defection or whatever it is that has happened, there is a very strong Wike written all over it, right? So who made Wike leader, political leader in River State? Is he not trying to force himself because there are other people that have gone ahead of Wike, and all those other people are allowing the person currently in power to run the affairs of the state. But it seems like Wike left that seat and wanted to continue both as minister and as governor in the state. And I feel like this is where all this entire foundation of all the war that is going on in River State that is coming from. But But of course, you have a way to dodge the question again. Answer me.
I think we're all mixing this up.
We're not mixing it up.
First of all, you mentioned Dr. Peter Odili.
Yeah.
I mean, our most respected godfather. I mean, great-grandfather, as I like to call him. Peter Odili is no longer in politics. He has, stepped away from politics for a long time. So he has left it that way, and we all respect that fact. Now, you come to the issue of why Wike this, why Wike that. Who made him? Well, the people made Wike the political leader. It's people that will make you a leader. It is not you that will make yourself a leader.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Because...
I beg to disagree, Wisdom.
Again, first, nobody has questioned the seat of the governor. Sim Fubara is still the governor of Rivers State and the head of the executive arm of government. That is unquestionable. That is sacrosanct. Nobody is dragging his position with him. But when you come to the party, because it's on the arm of the party that Wike plays as leader, no content or section of the Constitution of the People's Democratic Party said that the governor of a state automatically becomes the leader of the party. Nowhere.
So how did Wike become the leader of the party?
So, leadership...
Are you not contradicting yourself like this?
No. Leadership in itself of a political party is who the people want.
Who told you it is Wike that they want now?
If nobody wanted him, he won't be the leader of the party.
How is he the leader? How is he the leader of the party? First of all, the same person that they have accused of robbing, playing, dancing with the enemy, and still being PDP. You are APC on one hand and you are PDP on the other. So how is he? Who elected him leader of the party? Please tell me the people.
There is no election.
Okay, who made him leader of the party?
I've told you the people.
How? Which people?
The people made him the leader of the party. Secondly, in 2022, 2023, Wike, of course, led at the forefront of the campaign to make Governor Sim Fubara governor.
Of course, nobody is doubting that. Good. And that is why it is so obvious that you are supposed to be loyal to me, because that is all I see.
Who will be loyal to who?
Sim Fubara is supposed to be loyal to Wike and answer to him. And Sim Fubara said, no, I am now a man of my own, even though now you put me here, And that is where the problem is coming from. So why are you not admitting that? So they have left it for him now. He's the man of his own. He should handle his government. Nobody has held his hand now. Nobody is holding him. He's still the governor. Is he not? He's still the governor. This is sarcasm. This is sarcasm. I'm going to go on a break. I'm coming back for you. Let me go and drink water. I'll be back. Stay with us.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlights. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we'll connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, an in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, thanks for staying tuned. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having the conversation around the River State budget ultimatum that was given to Governor Simlai Fubara, right? And I have wisdom with me. We're coming back to you. So please, let's hear your conversation. Like, you can literally join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our WhatsApp line, you can also call that number. Our phone lines are also now open, 07025007749 or 07014242420. Let's hear what you have to say. If you are in River State, please call me. I want to understand what is going on in your state. Are you pro-Wike or you're pro-Simlaye Fubara? So I watched what's the word now? First of all, I asked you a question before we went on the break. Who are the people, when you say the people are the one that elected Wike party, PDP leader of the state, who are the people? Is it the River State people?
Members of the party are River State people, are they not?
Members of the party, how many are they?
Members of the party?
Yes, how many are they?
But are they not River State?
So in River State, for instance, as a state, who are the political leaders that you people recognize to say these are your political fathers?
So I mean, there are a range of them. And I mentioned one before,
yes.
Sir Dr. Peter Odili, because he is a revered father. We'll call him, as I said before, a great-grandfather, of the state. I mean, he was governor in 1999. Rufus Ada George, are one of our leaders. Of course, and there are a long list of them.
So what are these people saying about the current crisis that is going on within the state? And how are they not able to rein in a Wike? Because let me tell you something. I hear you. I understand what Wike is probably trying to fight for. But the point is, in all of these fights now, somebody is suffering. And it is your people that are suffering, the River State people. Because if truly this allocation is cut short, what is going to happen? It means that there will not be funds to be able to run the state. So you can't just put the blame alone. I understand that Simlaye Fubara did wrong, right?
Yes.
He didn't follow the constitution.
Yes.
But there's also a big factor, which is a Wike factor, that is inside this same political drama. Why are we not able to talk to both parties to say, you know what, drop this? Because these are, as far as I'm concerned, this is just personal ego at play. It is just personal ego. It's just unfortunate that the governor fell into the trap by not doing the right thing with the constitution.
In January 2024, the president, considering all you have just said, called for a meeting. And in that meeting was to provide a political solution to these issues. And the governor, made a broadcast agreeing to implement the resolution at that meeting. But in getting to the last two of that resolution, backtracked.
What was the two?
I think the last two was one, representing the budget, and then conducting local government election. Those were the last two that was left. He had implemented the other things. And so that's why we got into this point. So when political solutions don't solve the problem, we have to go to the legal means. And this is where we have arrived now, at the legal means. Nobody, well-meaning Rivers person, is happy that allocation to the state, due to the state, have been stopped. In fact, not only stopped, the governor cannot even spend any kobo that belongs to the state without that budget being represented. Nobody is happy about it. That's why I think the assembly members have said, come, bring it now, let's look at it and let's move on.
But the way you are sounding, wisdom,
yes.
if he represents that budget tomorrow, how do you see that representation process playing out? Just be honest with me.
I can't preempt what will happen
so
tomorrow.
You don't speak English now.
No, I can't preempt what will happen tomorrow. But what is important?
No, okay. So give me case scenarios.
The case scenario is you call the speaker, you pick a time. There's a sitting tomorrow. The speaker convenes all the members, and you bring the budget the same way you came in and presented it before 3 people. You come and present it the same way.
So
and what they do is
outcomes,
they pick the budget, they look at it, what you've put together, and they review it. Assembly members will look at what has been entered there for their various constituency. They go, all the commissioners of the different ministries and departments, agencies of government who come and defend whatever monies they are put there for their different ministries. It's how we do it in Abuja now with the president. All the ministers, head of department, will go in a committee of the Senate to defend all their budget monies, and we look at it, and then the assembly is happy with what you have presented, and they pass it on the floor.
When they are not happy, Unko?
When they are not happy, they mention what they are not happy about. You go back, you look at it, you make adjustments. It's what the president does at the national level. Oh, this is not so big now. But you cannot present a budget to the assembly, and they won't review it, and then they bring it tomorrow, and you sign. It doesn't work that way.
But over the years, there's a precedence, wisdom, when it comes to our houses, both at national level and state level. Whether you're talking about the state assembly or the national, the National Assembly.
Yes.
It's always, for us as Nigerians, we just see them as figureheads. They just go there, the eyes have it, the nays have it. It is do what the president, what your executive has said. I've never seen a time where, the House would truly scrutinize some of these budgets that are being passed.
Now, which of the houses? Is
all houses at all levels, both at state and at federal level.
Okay.
That has always been the precedence. Wait, I'm coming with the question. So now that we see that there is a clear disconnect or discord between a governor and his members and a good majority of his members of his house, how do you see that budget representation? How do you see that playing out? Do you think that it will finally get an approval?
It will get an approval. But to your question, I'm not going to ignore the fact that many legislative houses over the years in the past have been rubber stamped, and we see that clearly, where they only do just yes, sir, to whatever the governor says or the president says. Notwithstanding, you know why it's always like that? It's because these executive members, they know how powerful the legislative is. So what they do, especially at the state level, it has been really worse over time, is that the governor takes quick control, of the legislature.
Who he puts there.
Yeah, so he is able to influence who he becomes speaker and who the principal members are, so that, they are able to sort of work together. I mean, we can't throw away that fact. But in true sense of it, according to our constitution, the legislative is indeed very powerful. They are the makers of the law. They make the laws and all of that. So it is very tough. They are very powerful. In this case, what we are seeing in Rivers State is when the governor has gone loggerhead with the legislative now, it means he has no firm control.
The governor went loggerhead with Wiki. You used your leg. Wait, hold on. You used your leg to walk her into my trap. Because what you've just said now, wisdom, is the fact that clearly somebody somewhere is controlling the legislative against the governor.
That is an assumption.
It is not an assumption.
No. That is an assumption. That is an assumption. Let's not speculate. Very sincerely, let's not speculate. Because if you say
you said it that the governor would always want to take charge.
Is Wike governor? Is Wike governor now?
He just finished his tenure as governor.
Okay.
You said the governor, what they would usually do is quickly take charge of that entire system so that they are able to work in synergy, right?
That has been the precedent.
That's where we're going.
Yes.
Somebody understands the power of the legislative, and the person quickly went behind and took charge.
So, but you
cannot tell me that Wike's hand is not in all of these things.
Sim is governor today.
Yes.
In the last 1 year, he has not even been able to influence one person out of the 27 lawmakers to his side.
Do you know the agreement they have with the other party?
See, politics is lobbying is a strong part of politics. The same way we see President Tinubu was able to influence who became Senate President and Speaker, lobbying is a part of politics. As governor, you should be able to. And leadership in itself, influencing others to follow you, is a strong part of leadership. So I'm sorry, Uwa, how do you want me to make a case for a governor who was unable to influence or inspire somebody to his side? I don't understand. How is that the fault of Wike you're trying to bring into all of this? If we continue to make this about Wike, we miss the main point. Because these issues now have gone through the legal system and have arrived at the final point. And I told you before that Wike is not even, a plaintiff or a defendant in all of the cases.
But yet he was doing praise and worship.
Well, as the leader of the party, if his party wins a case in court, why shouldn't he rejoice? Why would we have an issue with his rejoicing, Uwa? So the state just needs to move forward. The governor needs to truly represent that budget. They've invited the chairman of the RISEC, that's Rivers Independent Commission, to come before them and explain what he's doing. Because the action they've taken towards the election, again, like I pointed out, two things. It's in violation of Section 28 of the Electoral Act and Section 150 of the Electoral Act. We can't make the same mistake again. So allow the Rivers State House of Assembly to direct on the next steps towards preparing towards the election. So we're not back to the same square one over again. So it's just moving forward that we want now. I mean, the whole politics for the last 1 year.
You're making it sound like it is going to be a straightforward move forward.
It will not be a straightforward move forward.
No, that's what you are making it sound like. You are saying it is not that hard, just represent.
I'm just saying the governor needs to do his part.
Okay, no problem. What would be the implication of this delayed budget implementation? That, how would this affect, development of your state? Because those are the things that I'm really bothered about.
I mean, the House of Assembly will decide tomorrow. I think the 48 hours time
ultimatum has been elapsed.
Yes. Yeah? Also, again, they have written to the governor on several appointments he has made, into his cabinet and into the government that did not also go through the proper means of screening and confirmation of the assembly. So he also has 48 hours again to, bring back those lists before them for proper screening and approval. So as of today, the governor only has 5.
You guys are just trying to frustrate your
governor.
The governor
only has 5 commissioners that were screened and approved by this assembly. The other ones, including the Attorney General, who has been parading himself, they are all now null and void. Yes. So anybody that paraded himself as commissioner who was not screened by this assembly is an imposter. And that's what the assembly has said. And they have asked the governor, please bring back, those appointment lists, bring them before us for screening and confirmation. It's what the law says. Because the Supreme Court judgment said everything returns to status quo as at November 29th, 2023.
Let's take a caller. Loma, come and help me. Good evening.
Good evening, my beautiful sister in the house.
Thank you. You see the one chance where wisdom don't put me inside of it.
That's not for me. Then I say as a speaker.
They greet you.
I want to ask one question to that your guest. What gain do we derive in too much quarreling? What gain do we derive? What did you know? Every time, the more you people are quarreling, the more you people are suffering. The common man, the masses are suffering, because when 2 elephants fight,
the grass that suffers.
The grass suffer. Now you people are giving him ultimatum. And remember that this budget, he has already started implementing it. Giving him budget, giving him ultimatum again to resubmit it, to represent it. Oh, why can't you let go and move along with the governor and make sure there is peace for once in River State? What will be our gain? At the end of the day, there is war in River. What will be our gain? So I want to use this opportunity to tell us, this is pure politics. These people are playing politics in the life of ordinary citizens.
God will bless you.
And very soon, ordinary citizens will rise up and tell you people, so far you have gone, you these wicked politicians, go no more further. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Hey, lover. Hey, wisdom is trying to say, no, it's not a politics game. It is constitution. What are they doing? Like, in the end, I'm saying this thing because all of this drama is happening because somebody's...
let me say this.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Loma, thank you for calling. Mr. According to him, let us let things go.
Yes.
Good. Let's assume we're letting things go, or they are letting things go now.
Mm-hmm.
It means we're letting go the fact that a budget was presented to 3 members of a state assembly.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, in another state, a governor will present his budget to only one person and carry on. But we forget the fact that a state of 32 constituencies, it means that these members represent the people at that assembly. When you put them aside on your own without going through the process, it means you're shutting the voices of the people of this constituency. Like the Supreme Court said, that it means that you are carrying on with a budget with only 12.something%
of your state members.
Of your state members. Representation.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can imagine the huge number of people you've shut out of this. How does that, is that okay? If it's okay, then maybe let's let things go. If it's okay, then let's let things go. So, but we have to
way forward.
Yes, the way forward, like I said, is the assembly has been...
Because now you did not only touch on the budget representation, you touched on the fact that only 5 commissioners were legally appointed based on the fact that those were the 5 people that were screened as at the date...
As at November the 29th,
okay,
2023.
So, this is complicated.
It is indeed complicated, but the way forward is clear. You don't have to like the face of the speaker to do what is right. Most sincerely, you don't have to. But what is right is what is right.
But is the speaker going to be honest and sincere to say that his actions with the governor, if all of these things that you're saying that the governor goes to do, would be from an unbiased standpoint?
Which actions? What?
I'm just asking you. Because you say he should go and represent. I know how these things can get. It will start to frustrate and frustrate and frustrate. I'm being... No, let us be realistic.
No, but the way I look at this assembly...
Yes, how do you look at it?
They indeed want to move forward for the interest of the state.
Because now what they want to do is they want to have a figurehead governor.
No.
So that they will be the one to be telling you what to do. They are trying to
But you know the legislature in the first place is the check and balance of the executive.
I understand. Why are they not checking and balancing in other states? Why are they checking and balancing only in River State? Is it today that we are seeing that, what's it called, assemblies are rubber stamps? No.
So this one has refused to be rubber stamped. Now, why are you having an issue with it?
No. It is only refusing to be rubber stamped because it has selfish interest.
What selfish interest?
If your refusal to be rubber stamp is coming from a genuine intention for the good,
what is the selfish interest? What is the selfish interest?
Wisdom. If your rubber stamp, right? If you're refusing to be a rubber stamp, it's for the good of your state, then I'll get it.
That's what it is.
No, it is not.
So what is the selfish interest? No, what is the selfish interest here? Can you mention?
I don't know. When he goes to represent the budget and he submits the budget and the thing starts to play, the play out, right?
Yes.
We'll see what their interest is.
No, we'll see. But like I've told you, the steps. Parliament have steps. They have procedures and they have guidelines. You cannot come and drop the budget and go away, and tomorrow they call you to come and sign. The members will have to scrutinize the budget. These people represent constituencies. They have to look into the budget.
To be sure that their constituencies
to be sure that whatever you have put in, for different projects and all that you want to spend for that fiscal year, that their constituencies are well captured. They have to do their scrutiny. So after that, if anywhere they are not okay with, they send it back to you. You make those amendments. Your heads of departments also make those amendments. They bring it back. There's a relationship there to achieve what we need to achieve and move forward. If the president can do this...
Not too stubborn for River State.
No.
I'm being honest. Because I don't understand this fight. The thing just started like a joke. And all of a sudden, you are just complicating issues.
Nobody is happy with this fight.
Who told you?
The only people happy with it are people who are making money out of it and have refused to allow it to end. They are crisis entrepreneurs. Over 1 year now, this issue has continued. People are making money out of this. So all those people will never want this issue to end.
It's okay. Somebody is sending me love to my favorite media personality. Oh, Sayome, thank you so much on Instagram. I mean YouTube, brother. Sweezy Egbong. So if you had one final thing to say to Simlaye Fubara, our executive governor of River State, what would that be?
The one thing I want to say, if I would say to the governor, is don't listen to advisors who want to, push our state into crisis. The direction the assembly has given and the request of the assembly, you should work with them towards achieving it for the interest of Rivers people. We should not break the law or the provisions of the Constitution any further for any reason. I think Rivers people are tired already of this fight, whatever it is. At this point, an end needs to come. So my advice to you is, let's, like you have said, you implement the judgment of the Supreme Court. I think it's a good one. Let's just proceed with that and respond to the State Assembly with all of the steps you need to take for that, and especially with the budget, and let us move forward. I think it would just be my advice, and so we don't welcome any legal battle anymore, as indeed we're tired.
Awesome. Okay, I would say that ultimately the resolution of this crisis, of course, will depend on the ability of all parties involved to engage in constructive dialogue.
Yes.
I'm going to go find a way to move forward that respects the rule of law. I love what you said about respecting the Constitution and the democratic processes, right? It will also be essential that the interest of the people of Rivers State is prioritized in all of these things, because when the state is not developed, right, it hinders a lot of things. People are not able to exist within your state, So let's be intentional, because the outcome of this crisis would have significant implications on the future of governance in Rivers State. So it is very important, and of course Nigeria as a whole, it's very important that we find a headway in this thing. Let personal egos be put aside. Thank you, Wisdom. I came for war, and you came ready for me. You see the way we are, this is how it's supposed to be. We will fight, then we will shake hands, we will, I don't understand. Simlai and Wiki.
But just to close out, I said the Supreme Court judgment is out.
Yeah.
And all matters were rested.
So, okay,
yes,
no
I'll send you a copy to look at. And on the issue of defection, as it is rested, it can't be heard on any court again.
Okay.
So we need to make progress and stop arguing who is the speaker and who are the members.
All right, okay. So if Rivers State is starved of its economic rights because of one who wants to monopolize Rivers State, we will also starve the economy. This was from the Ijaw Youth Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.